Y'all must have forgot, eh? Y'all must have forgot, eh? The amount of people that I'm seeing choose Spanish Conor McGregor for this fight is shocking. It is shocking, right? And I will stand on business, okay? Ignore the fucking video where I said that Topuria was probably going to beat Volk, okay? Because I've changed my mind, all right? And I definitely didn't say that Colby was going to beat Leon in that video, so don't go watch it and check, because I didn't say it. Let me take you back, right? Leon Edwards had just slept Kamaru Usman, and on the screen pops up, Volkanovski is moving up to lightweight to fight for the lightweight belt against Islam, right? Now, I'm watching this card with my cousin. Now, my cousin is an MMA fan, but he's more of a casual MMA fan, right? So, he knows Volk is good. He knew who Volk was. He'd seen him fight once or twice, but he didn't know how good he was. So, when he sees that Volk's going up to lightweight, he's fighting Islam, my cousin looks at me and goes, bro, because he knows I like Volk, he says, bro, Volk's going to get ragdolled. And I stood up in that fucking living room, bro, and I looked him in the eyes and I said, listen, if Volk gets dominated by Islam Makhachev, right, then I know nothing about MMA. I will put my fucking knowledge on the line, bro, because I know even if he gets beat, he's going to put up a good fight, right? This is a belief that I have in Volk. Now, once upon a time, I had the same belief in Izzy, right? We don't talk about that. I believe in Volk because Volk believes in himself, right? My favourite fighters in the sport have always been the thinking man's fighters. People like Volk, for example, who fight IQ is almost number one to them, right? Tom Aspinall is another person that I would say is in that category. His decision-making, the speed he can make vital decisions that change the course of a fight is almost his best asset. And I would say it's the same with Volk. Now, I have been wrong many a time on this channel, right? Whether it's predicting fucking influencer boxing, main events of cards, like I get predictions wrong all the time, but I also bang out quite a few accurate predictions, so I'm just going to speak my mind. Hopefully Volk doesn't just get slept in one round. If he does, I'm deleting the video. Now, Ilia Topuria is talking madness, bro. He's changed his bio on Instagram to say UFC featherweight champion already, right? He's making a documentary called Road to the Belt, which, yes, if he loses the fight, the documentary still kind of makes sense because he still fought for the belt, but that means that he's confident, right? He thinks he's going to win. Now, people are making a lot of comparisons to Conor McGregor, right? Just because guy has tattoo, guy punches hard, guy speaks arrogant and confidently, right? Doesn't mean he's fucking Conor McGregor. Just like Ian Gary literally couldn't be more like Conor McGregor if he tried, and even he doesn't even capture the essence of what McGregor was. Topic for another video, but a lot of people like to think that McGregor was just kind of screamy Irish guy, funny accent. Bro, he delivered some of the coldest trash talk I've ever seen in my life. That line where he said, when he's in Rio and he says, I own Rio, the name McGregor goes back to the fucking Viking days. It means royal is in my blood. In a different age, I would invade your favela on horseback. Like, that was on the spot. Or maybe it wasn't on the spot, but even if it wasn't on the spot, that's some chill son and shit, okay? So please respect McGregor's trash talk. It is absolutely garbage now, but at one point he was and probably still is the best of the modern era trash talking, and I don't think anybody's even going to come close, to be honest. But in saying that, Ilia Topuria, now my cousin, I bring him back up. I remember when Ilia Topuria fought Bryce Mitchell, and my cousin put money on Bryce Mitchell, and I said to him, I don't know about that, bro. This Topuria guy is really good, you know. He's an amazing grappler. He's an amazing boxer, you know what I mean? Good footwork, good defense. Like, he's probably going to smoke Bryce. So I put some money on Topuria. So that fight happens. And also he fought Ryan Hall before that. And when he got dropped by Jai Herbert, like, I've been keeping an eye on Topuria just like everybody else has. Now, before I upset all 6 Josh Emmett fans on this planet, right? I'm not disrespecting Josh Emmett. He is an incredible fighter. He's a big power puncher. The technique on his overhand rights, like, it looks like you just choose a powerhouse in the UFC game and you throw an overhand right, and that's literally technically perfect how fucking Josh Emmett throws it. Like, he's just the epitome of a power puncher, right? So I've got no disrespect for Josh Emmett, okay? He is a bit... We'll leave it there. He's not the best, okay? Let's say that, but one thing I do respect about Josh Emmett is he never lets himself kind of just get swept out of a fight. Like, he never just gets laid on for 5 rounds. He never really just looks absolutely trash. I mean, he does. I kind of take that back. But you know what I mean. He never goes in there and gets fucking 50-45. Stop. Just stop. I know there's probably a fucking fight where Josh Emmett got 50-45. Let me make my point, okay? Stop trying to prove your fucking hardcore MMA fanness on me, right? Just let me make my point. Josh Emmett very rarely gets absolutely dominated in the octagon. Very rarely, okay? It's happened, but very rarely, okay? Never on the ground either, I will say that. And that's why I picked him against Bryce. Again, underdog against Bryce. I don't understand what the... I mean, I love Bryce Mitchell, but people think he's like championship material. I've just never thought that. So Josh beating Bryce, I hold as much value as a win over somebody like... Who's a good example that isn't going to fucking get me crucified? It's like a win over somebody like Edson Barboza to me, right? I respect Edson Barboza's skills a lot, but I know he's very beatable by the top of the division, right? In both divisions that he's fought in. He's beat some of the best, but he gets beat by the best or better fighters the majority of the time. That's kind of how I view Bryce. I think he's a fun fighter. I think he's probably going to be a bit of a Donald Cerrone for the sport, you know what I mean? Once he realizes, I'm not really going to chase this belt. I'm not really good enough to right now anyway to chase the belt. I'm going to take some fun fights. I'm going to move up in weight if they need me to, you know, be like a Kevin Holland type thing. That's what I think is in the future for Bryce. Bryce, if you're watching this, you're probably definitely not watching this, so fuck you, Bryce. Obviously joking, big Bryce Mitchell fan, and watching him get flatlined by Emmett was scary, right? So my point is, when I say that Ilia Topuria's resume does not even come close to Volk's, and I truly believe that, I think beating Max Holloway 3 times is better than Ilia's whole resume. And I know that might sound crazy, but Max Holloway has proven himself at this point. You don't even need to look at what Volk's done, right? Look at what Max has done, and then look at what Volk did to Max. Max carries the torch for Volk on his own, I think, with no other wins needed. Beating Max Holloway, prime Max Holloway, 3 times in a row, right, is fucking impressive enough to where I'm pretty confident picking Volk against anyone. Now, we get to the second Islam fight, and a lot of people are probably going to be saying, listen, I rate Volk just as much as you. I think Volk's a great fighter, but he just got knocked out, and it's too much of a quick turnaround. This fight is going to prove a lot, okay? It's going to test a lot of those MMA curses that we know and love, and it's going to basically see, can Volk break the curses, or is the curse too strong? You've got the first curse, right, which is the over 35 curse, which is no featherweight champion has ever defended, or nobody below welterweight, I think it is, has ever defended a belt past the age of 35. They've all lost their titles as soon as they turn 35, right? Second one is the short turnaround after being knocked out. I mean, it's been a fair few months, so it's not like he's coming back 1 month later, right? Like we've seen some people like Tai Tuivasa when he got finished and went straight back in against Pavlovich. Like we've seen some crazy turnarounds in this sport. This isn't necessarily one of them, but it is a little bit quick. And if he'd got flatlined, knocked out stiff, and woke up 35 seconds later, I don't necessarily think this fight would be happening. I think his medical suspension would have probably been longer. It was a TKO. He was on his way out, and his head was fucking bouncing off the cage, right? But he was still there, kind of. So it wasn't like a flatline KO. So it might not be as bad on the brain as everybody's thinking it's going to be. The next curse is the next generation of fighters, right? Many fighters, even John Jones, I know he doesn't have the L against Reyes. It's tired. I don't need to go through the whole fucking thing. But Jones lost to Reyes, so it got Jones, okay? Who I think is the GOAT of the sport. Now, he did move up and fight Cyril Gane, who is a new gen fighter. So he did get the win, and he also beat Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos and stuff like that. So he did kind of break the curse anyway, but that's Jones, right? We kind of put him to one side. This is the modern era, right? This is a true active champion in the modern era. Can he break these curses? There's 3 against him. Everybody loves to talk about MMA curses, and he just fucking had one before with the fucking UFC game cover curse, and it got him. So I am scared. I am scared for Volkanovski, right? But I have too much confidence, right, in the belief in the fight IQ of Volkanovski. I think he's one of the best MMA fighters that has ever stepped foot in that octagon in pretty much every department. I know all the Islam fans are laughing and pointing at the screen and calling me fat boy right now, but listen, I'm speaking my fucking truth, bro. Volkanovski, with his IQ, his striking, his grappling, he is the epitome of an MMA fighter in my opinion. Even just something simple of his trap setting is just It's high. It's not, oh, look at that trap. It was high level kickboxing. The MMA traps he's setting. He's setting traps with leg kicks to chain into takedowns or clinches. You know, it isn't just striking. And then when he gets on the ground, it's just wrestling. And then when they start scrambling, it's just jiu-jitsu. Like, he meshes it all together. And I just think Topuria, he's very good, but please put your shotguns down when I say this. Please don't pull the trigger. Please, you have a whole life to live for. He's one-dimensional, okay? He is. On further thought, he's not one-dimensional. I completely take that back. He's an amazing grappler, right? He has it in his back pocket. I'm pretty sure he's a black belt. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize. I'm pretty sure he's a black belt, and he's a legit black belt. If he's not a black belt, he's more of a fucking black belt than some of these other black belts are in the sport, okay? We'll leave it there. Dustin Poirier. He's not one-dimensional, but in the cage, right, he does get a little bit one-dimensional. He likes to box. He doesn't... I'm sure every fucking person in their fucking mum has heard this statistic by now, but Ilia Topuria has not thrown a head kick in his fucking entire MMA career as of yet. Volkanovski just got knocked out by a head kick. Ilia Topuria has never threw a head kick. So basically, Volk wins. Thanks for watching. I think Alex is going to use Ilia Topuria to make a statement, right? He's clued in. Alex may seem like a humble, private person who, yeah, I just turn up, I just fight, you know, I don't really pay attention to too much of the Twitter stuff. Yes, he does, bro. I know he does. And I know he's seeing everybody saying, Volk's washed. Volk, this is the downfall of Volk. This is the end. I know he's seeing that. And I know he's thinking, right, okay, I'm going to fucking show everyone. You think I'm done? I'm going to show everyone. Now, Chael Sonnen often says, I don't think it's a Chael Sonnen quote, but he says it 14 times a video, right? He says, there will come a time where you may not be done with this sport, but this sport is done with you. And you're not able to keep up anymore, right? I've heard it said many times. A good example is Jorge Masvidal, right? He retired in the last few years. I remember shortly before he retired, so shortly before the Gilbert Burns fight, somebody asked him in an interview, could this be your last one? Are you thinking about retiring? And Jorge says, listen, I'll think about retiring when I can't keep up with the guys in the gym anymore. I'll retire when I feel slow. I'll retire when, yeah, maybe I'm losing a step and maybe that shot wouldn't have landed before when now it is. I don't think it's that black and white. I think in the big moments in your prime, you will bite down on your gum shield and you will get through it. Your brain will not let you get shut off. In your fucking prime, when you're hungry as anything, you've got to really be fucking punished before you go out, I think. Where when you've got the belt, right, it's a subconscious thing, I think. You're almost letting yourself get knocked out easier, right? I know that might sound fucking stupid, but if you go into a fight, right, and you haven't had the belt, you haven't had these things, it's a lot easier to be like, nah, bro, even if my fucking nose is hanging off, even if I literally have to have my jaw wired shut and can't eat for 6 weeks after this fight, even if my kids cry when they fucking FaceTime me in the ambulance in 45 minutes, like, I'm not going out. That is my belt, I'm getting it. Where when you're 35, let's say, right? Well, maybe this has something to do with it. When you're 35, maybe you're a few title defenses in. Maybe you just even got the belt. Getting the UFC belt means a lot to a lot of people. And I know that sounds like a pretty redundant statement because, of course, it means a lot to a lot of people. It's a fucking UFC title. This is what the fighters are working for. But when I say it, what I mean is it means a lot to a lot of people and it means everything to some people. Now, I think Alexander Volkanovski used to be the belt means everything, right? Where now I think is the belt means a lot, but it's legacy. It's these big fights. It's, yeah, I want to fucking go up and move up a division and do this. I want to do this. It's legacy stuff, right? So stuff like a title defense, and not even to mention that he's already talking about, yeah, I want to maybe go back up to lightweight in the future. There's a lot of fights up there for me, but we'll do this featherweight thing right now. I get it, okay? Spanish Conor McGregor fans, I get it. And I get why you are picking Spanish Conor McGregor, okay? And you know, at the end of the day, he's a very good fighter, but I will say it with my chest. I will stand on fucking business, okay, when I say it. I'll look you in the eye when I say it, bro. Volkanovski's my boy. Okay? He's not going to get 49-46, okay? Big shout out to Ilia Topuria. Great to have some fucking fresh matchups in the featherweight division. Volk, I wish him the best. I will be making a prediction video on this card. Never really done that before. I usually just predict on stream, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to edit that cough out because I don't want to. Talking about streaming, I will be live for the card on Saturday, and I am live usually for every card. I have been away for a month because I lost my grandma, so rest in peace to my grandma. Been very, very fucking sad for my family, as you can imagine, but I'm back now. I want to put more energy into this YouTube shit. I have a channel in my hands, right, that people would kill for. People would kill for the numbers that I've got in such a quick time. I know I'm not fucking viral, right? But I was literally gaining like 200 subs a day at one point. It was fucking amazing, bro. You know what I mean? And the algorithm really likes my shit. I've had Lucas over fucking commenting. I've had Bedtime MMA commenting. Like, I've attracted a lot of people, and I'm sorry for not capitalizing on that, or I'm sorry for not respecting that, I should say, not capitalizing, but you know what I mean. I love you all. Have a hit of the fucking blunt before you go. Yeah, love you all, man. Appreciate all the support. I'm back, I promise. A couple more videos coming this week, and I will see you on the fucking Saturday where we watch my bold little fucking boyfriend. What the fuck am I saying, bro? Volk. And I know I just said bold boyfriend. I know I've got like nose piercings and a face tap, but I'm not gay. Come on, Volk. Let's fucking go. Let's go, boy. Hey? Let's fucking go, hey? My name's Harry. I talk about fights. Bang. There's a fucking AI-generated photo of Conor McGregor as a glass of milk.